Hey everybody, it's me, Eric Comley, Garrett County 4-H Youth Development Agent, and guess what? Back on the ground, all right? I've been doing these for several months. I've enjoyed them immensely. I've really had the chance to see some beautiful species. People have reached out to me. It's crazy how communal the plant people are for the most part. Is that, you can say, oh, I'm looking for this plant, or has anybody seen this? And there's a lot of really great websites that are out there, social media sites. The Kentucky Native Plant Society is a group that you can both join, get a newsletter from, and find on Facebook. Of course, the University of Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky University, have some great plant people that you can reach out to. Some of the locations, and I'm going to tell you all this up front, some of the locations of things that we find, they're not going to be as easy to give up, simply because it is so, it may be an endangered species or a threatened species. So we want to make sure that those plants are protected. So anyway, I am on the ground again with this really cool plant. This is called jewelweed or touch-me-not. Now, the scientific name for this one is Impatiens capensis. Okay, so I tried to find, and I'll put it in the comments when I actually upload the video and everything of the etymology of that, but I tried to find it, and I was met with some resistance. I'm sure that information is out there. I tried to look it up on the internet, but where I'm at right now, not a lot of internet service. So, sometimes the internet can be a real tool. So, but this plant, orange touch-me-not or orange spotted jewelweed, really beautiful plant. This one always tells me summertime, especially getting toward the end of summer. It's a good reminder. So this is like a late July into August, and probably into September we'll see this plant, but it's definitely, these are starting to fade already. Beautiful orange flower, spots all around it. We have 3 different species of impatiens as far as these are concerned in Kentucky. We have Impatiens capensis, we have a Impatiens pallida, which is the pale touch-me-not or jewelweed. Then we also have one that's kind of a purplish or whitish color. It's actually an invasive. And so it is, I've never seen it before, and I guess that's for the best. Now, the reason this one is called touch-me-not is because of the fruit, all right? So the fruit, and I was looking at Dr. Jones' book, Ron Jones' book, The Plant Life of Kentucky. It's a great key. I was looking at it, and I was reading about the family, and it said the last characteristic of this family was explosive dehiscence. Okay, so what that means is that when it separates, they basically pop or explode, all right, which is really kind of amazing. If you're walking by these and you touch them, they'll actually, they won't make a noise, but they will pop, okay, and they kind of bust all over the place. So like as a kid, like if you have kids, this is a really cool plant to take them out around and let them, just all you have to do, you don't have to do anything except just gently touch the seed and it will pop. So really just a cool plant. It gets to be pretty tall. These ovate leaves like this with some slight toothing along it, so they are a little bit toothed along the edge of that, but they are kind of an oval or ovate shaped leaf. Like I said, this is a really beautiful flower. A lot of your butterflies will love these. Hummingbirds will love these because they do have that tubular structure so that they can get down in and get any kind of nectar or food out of. Now, like I said, it's also called jewelweed. And the reason it's called jewelweed is because when water droplets actually formed on it, it got its name because the water droplets look like little beads of jewels that were actually on the leaves. This one has some real medicinal uses. It has, you can actually break the stem of this one. You know, of course, don't do that. I mean, there's obviously over-the-counter medications and things that you can use, but if you happen to be out on a hike and you ran through some poison ivy or stinging nettle, you can actually use the fluid, and it's very watery, and you can rub that on that area, and it's supposed to get rid of some of the itching properties of those plants. Just an absolutely gorgeous plant. This one is bilaterally symmetrical, so it's cut down the middle. It's symmetrical on both sides, but so you couldn't cut it horizontally and it be that way. So vertically, bilaterally symmetrical. Just a absolutely cool plant. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you, and so I'm out here at Maywoods right now. This is a facility that's run by Eastern Kentucky University. It's in Garrett County, and then I think part of it actually borders on Rockcastle County. I was talking to the guy earlier, and we were talking about snakes and everything like that. This is the time that you want to be very aware of snakes. Snakes are not out to get you. They're not out to bite you or anything like that, but you just want to be aware of where you're walking, and just be conscious of where you're putting your feet and putting your hands, especially. If you see a snake, leave it alone. Just don't bother it, and it won't bother you. The other thing that you need to watch out for, and a lot of people don't think about this, is let me kind of turn this around a little bit, because I want to show you all an example of it here in just a second, are caterpillars. So people will think, oh, caterpillars are so pretty, monarchs and swallowtails and all these really cool ones. There's a few caterpillars out there that do have stinging properties, and you need to be really aware of this. So I'm going to pick up the camera, and we're going roving on the ground with Eric. So hold on one second. Let me get myself up here. All right. So you want to be really aware. So there's like the saddleback caterpillar, and it does have stinging properties. So people who work in, who have corn or tobacco or things like that, there's, occasionally they'll run up against these things, and you just have to brush up against them, and they can absolutely sting. Now the caterpillar I'm going to show you, I think that it's one of the stinging ones, hence I'm not going to touch it. But as I was laying down, I was like, ooh! And not because I was really close to it, but you start really paying attention to the area around you when you see something that can sting or hurt you or anything like that. So let me step in here just a second, and I'm going to turn the camera around. I'll be right behind you the whole time, I promise. So look at that cool caterpillar there. And I don't know much about caterpillars, and it's on the plant that it's on. This is called wing stem, okay, verbenzia, I think it's the scientific name for that one, or the genus on that. So yeah, so you just want to make sure that you're really aware of where you're putting your hands and putting your feet, because you have snakes, and then you have some stinging caterpillars that are out there. Plus, you just want to be always aware of where you're at. So anyway, I'm going to let you all go. Impatiens capensis. This is, like I said, this is jewelweed. I don't know if one of these little seed pods will pop for me or not. There's a little insect right there. Look at that. So cool. A lot of cool things over here. Just across the road, there's actually the pale version of this one. You all have a wonderful day. I hope that you all are continuing to enjoy the segments. And if you ever have any questions for me, reach out. My email address is eric.comley, C-O-M